Hey everyone, it's Maribel Blue with a new Pathetically Unfiltered. If you are new here, welcome to this channel. I do news and reactions, and if you are not new, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about TikTok, the much needed conversation that I have delayed now for a few weeks since the takeover happened, I believe, in January 22nd. Now, I reluctantly put up another promo video to promote my channel because that's what I've been using the majority of TikTok for, leading people into my YouTube channel. And it got views, yes, but my concern is the whole thing that's been happening with the location. Now, not too long ago, I had received a notification if I wanted to share like my location, or it had like the Wi-Fi, it had how many devices could be connected to it. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Of course, I hit don't allow. I don't want them knowing my location. But what is funny is the reason why there was this whole TikTok ban was because ByteDance was sharing or seeing our information, which is what the fuck they're doing. So it wasn't okay for another country to allegedly be seeing our location and information, but it's okay for Oracle or anyone else who's involved with the American side of TikTok to do this. Now, I will say this, I have not been posting since the 23rd. Like I said, I reluctantly put up another video, but I haven't had a desire to put up any more videos. I think personally, TikTok has become an addiction for a lot of people. Now, I'm going to say this before I go ahead and share some of this video from Dylan Page, who has used TikTok extensively and has built a strong following. But I want to say this and get it out of the way. TikTok and the people who use TikTok are basically in this little world of the TikTok streets. There are people who think they are celebrities on there. They think by the following that they have makes them a celebrity. And I've said this on my other video, which I will link it below. There are people who do a lot of clout chasing. If they want to be noticed and have a voice, they'll go on different people's panels who have a bigger audience, a stronger panel, and they go there basically sharing the same thing over and over, and they'll just go on different people's panels and just share the same thing, trying to sound powerful, trying to sound knowledgeable, when they really don't. They're just saying the same thing over and over and over again, just everywhere else. And it becomes an addiction. The power, or the supposed power, you think you're feeling in there when people are agreeing with you, gifting you coins. And the higher the gifting, you get over 1,000 coins, you're making pretty good money. The thing is, it becomes its own echo chamber and people stay stuck on there. There was another platform that they talked about, Upscroll. I'm using it, but I'm not getting the full effect. It's not like I'm scrolling and seeing other people's stuff. I think you have to follow them in order for you to see it. So it's not like, unless I'm using it wrong, I have to go back and look at it again. But I feel like I'm not seeing other people's content. Now, YouTube, on the other hand, that's still a handy social media site. You will see shorts and other content from all around the world. So that's not an issue there. I think what's happening with TikTok is a deep rooted addiction that people don't want to let go. And even though they will sit there and complain, oh, it's been real, it was a great app, I'll follow you here, I'll follow you there, people will not do that. They are too addicted to that app to let it go. Regardless, I know, because I found myself waking up in the middle of the night, what's going on TikTok, and like scrolling 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when I should be getting my rest and sleeping. And I had to stop myself. I really had to pull it back and say, enough. This app, the people on this app, They are not your friends. They are not. There's a whole bunch of clicks in there. There are people who come in. One minute they're part of a movement. Now they're infiltrating other people's spaces, trying to reinvent themselves. I want no part of it. I'm not going to put myself in spaces where I know people are fake and phony and only doing things to gain popularity with an audience that they don't care about. Almost like the president of the United States, just to gain the title, but not do the work behind it. Now, Dylan Page, he did this video. I'm not going to play the whole entire video. I'm going to play parts of it, but he talks about things that he discovered about TikTok and how he's going to proceed now in where he's going to put his content.
Okay, this is not a video I ever thought I'd be making, but I think it's the right time to just put it all out there. You see, I've been creating content on TikTok for the last 5 years. I have posted thousands of videos, generated tens of billions of views. I've got 18 million followers on the platform. Hell, last month I was at ByteDance's headquarters, all the way over in China. But in that time, I have noticed some truly strange things that I've never witnessed on any other platform.
TikTok actually decides what news reaches viewers and which news doesn't. What TikTok is doing is against EU law.
And I'll be honest, for the longest time, I didn't want to share any of this publicly because it is literal self-sabotage. You see, according to TikTok's own terms and conditions, which you can read, it's in plain English, you may not make any derogatory public comment or statement concerning TikTok, or else you can be removed from their creator rewards program and never make money on the platform again. So,
and think about how frightening that is. People use TikTok as a way to make money. They have the TikTok shop, they create content, and I'm talking about like friendly content. I'm not talking about like political content, because political content, I don't know if people are part of the creators program and really making money unless they're doing lives, they're making money through the gifting or sending people like via Cash App or Venmo, whatever money thing that you have, like I have, just so you know, because I'm not monetizing on YouTube yet. So if you do want to make a donation to my Cash App, it is right there. That being said, people who are like putting cat videos up, who are sharing maybe cat rescues, who are doing pranks, who are doing dances, those are probably people within the creators program. That's safe content, that's user-friendly content, that's content that even teenagers can watch. You understand what I'm saying? There are other types of content on there where TikTok will say, nah, that just goes against our guidelines. And you have to remember, these companies, they will change the guidelines at the drop of a dime, not just TikTok, any social media platform. Granted, you get to share, you get to have a channel, but if you go against whatever guideline they have that day, they could just take your shit down. And then what do you have?
We better make this one count. In my hand is a 3-page response directly from TikTok containing information, some of which has never been made publicly available. And for the TikTok employees I know that are watching this right now, I promise this is for the greater good of the platform. Now, in my other hand, we have accounts from whistleblowers who are sharing their concerns and insights about TikTok, its moderation, and again, some of this information has never been made publicly available. And lastly, we have also spoken to some of the platform's largest creators, hearing their experiences for the first time. And spoiler on that one, I think some of your favorite TikTokers might be making a lot less money than you think. Now, with that being said, I want to stress the purpose of this video and what we're about to get into is not to bash TikTok. I happen to like the platform and I want to see it thrive, but some serious problems need to be highlighted that are forcing some of the platform's largest and up-and-coming creators off of the platform for good. And I don't want that to happen. So, I think we should stop the yapping and let's get cracking. Hey, bud. Just heading there now. I have sank years into that, like literal years of making content every single day, posting a bunch of times. I wake up one morning and they put up a notification, they say your account is permanently banned. Being a content creator in general is risky enough, let alone being on a platform that is sporadically banning people they don't even explain why. You're gone.
First of all, I'm so glad you're doing this video. I, for a long time, didn't know how my experience compared to other people's experiences on TikTok.
Do not stay on one platform. My God, I stuck on TikTok for years. That's all I cared about. When I got banned, I was gutted, definitely stuck. Sat there with, you went from loads of money or whatever money you were making, right? It was zero overnight, and it takes a lot to start again, trust me.
Okay, let's start with how I got here, because last week, I don't think I ever expected to be posting this video. It pains me to say this, but guys, I am leaving TikTok for a few days. The censorship on this platform is getting out of hand. What? Yeah, that video was right after one of the biggest news stories of the decade broke, and when I went to go and cover it, I experienced an abnormal amount of videos getting taken down. We're talking 5 videos in 2 days, either entirely taken off the platform or their newer moderation technique ineligible for recommendation. And these graphs.
Now, I want to say this really quick before I forget. There was something on TikTok, and I'm going to post a picture upon post editing, and I'm going to blur it out. They were actually selling this piece of jewelry. And when I posted it up in how could they allow a sale like this on TikTok, my video immediately got removed, saying that I was breaking their guidelines. But yet you allowed it on the TikTok shop. So isn't the TikTok shop, the person selling this item, going against the community guidelines? Why would you allow the sale of this thing in the first place? How am I breaking the guidelines when I'm bringing it to your attention?
Are what that looks like for the video. So it's essentially the same as removing a video entirely because no one sees it anymore. Now, let me be very clear. This was not the content's problem. Every single platform that I posted this video on had 0 issues with it. And when they did take these videos down, they didn't give a reason apart from community guidelines. And look, as I mentioned, I have posted thousands of videos on this app. And if this was just this one-time thing, I would write it off. I'll say, whatever, let's not make a big deal of it, move on with my life. But it was not a one-time thing. This is off of the back of TikTok attempting to permanently ban my account for reasons I only found out today, almost a year later, and we'll talk about that. They have dropped my RPM down to the lowest amount possible on this app. This graph is it just in this year of it dropping to abysmal 0.01. And sometimes when TikTok removes a video of mine, they will block me from the appeals process by glitching the page. And my concerns only grew when a Dutch news organization reached out to me saying that they were experiencing similar issues too. The thing that really caught my eye is that you said it's potentially illegal under EU law that they are doing this. And so that was really like, whoa, okay. I didn't know we were going that far. So, I mean, here's how crazy it's got over the years. There are times when my video on my page would look like it's fine. It's got 1 million views or so. But if you go on someone else's account, that video for them does not exist. We are talking about videos mysteriously disappearing without any notification from TikTok that its visibility has been limited. Now, there are certain laws against that, which we will get into further in the video, but it's particularly gaslighting for the creator because you're then told, oh, it's just a bad video.
TikTok removed some of our videos without notifying us or giving us the opportunity to object. Recently, TikTok took down a video about the Dutch government's campaign Be Prepared, which helps citizens prepare for possible emergency situations. And what TikTok said really worried me because they told us that we were spreading misinformation. And we really didn't understand why, because we're a news organization. We're
And
checking
this
everything.
information was from the government as
It's
well.
from
you
the
said.
government, yeah. When TikTok deletes videos at random or shadow bans them, TikTok actually decides what news reaches viewers and which news doesn't. I think this is really troubling because TikTok isn't a journalist. It isn't actually fit to decide what's newsworthy or not.
So I want to say this, two things that I think that is very important. I'm not familiar with Dylan Page, but clearly watching this video again, he does a lot of news things like I do. However, in my case, I waited out before I go ahead and gather my notes and put everything together so that I could turn on my camera and record. For other people, and perhaps like Dylan, you see on the screen breaking news, he is sharing the news as it's following through. Something like Aaron Parnas would do, or Kyle from Secular Talk, Brian Tyler Cohen, David Pakman. David Pakman is like posting videos, and his videos are very short. And that's the reason why I like watching him. He's very quick. He puts stuff up, but then later on, I think he does like a podcast where he will discuss more in detail about whatever the situation is, the news that day. I personally don't do breaking news solely because it can change later on during the day. What I could say in that instant could be misinformation, could be wrong information. And I try to be very careful, but also concise in what it is that I want to share with my audience. And this is what I have found the problem with the people on TikTok. They want to be the first. They want to gain those views. They want to be the one that said, I said it first. I exposed it first. It's not a good thing to do, especially if you're just a creator on an app and you're not getting it from verifiable sources. And I think this is where we all need to be careful. The other part to that is when people start getting the news, they start feeding into these conspiracy theories. I have seen enough Epstein conspiracy theories where I don't even like it anymore. I don't know. And quite honestly, I don't care. I feel a lot of conspiracy theories is what got us into this mess in the first place. The whole eating babies things, I'm not buying into that shit at all. I used to. I thought it was wild. But then after a while, I was like, this is not making any sense to me at all. Where is the proof? Where is the verifiable proof? And I don't know if I would want to see that kind of proof if there was something like that. But when you think about it on a bigger scale, it becomes where people want to be the first on the scene. And basically we're all doing the same thing. We're all in our house. We're not at the actual crime scene or whatever it is that's going on. So I would say we still have to be careful when we're sharing these breaking news. The flip side to that is the AI moderation, as Dylan was talking about. You have this lady who is a verified news source sharing things from their government. And TikTok is saying, nope, you're breaking community guidelines. And it's not an actual person who's seeing this video who can verify and say, yes, this is what's happening in said country and people need to be prepared. Imagine an AI getting it wrong if a state is going to have a very large snowstorm or even a tornado. I think a tornado is worse than a snowstorm. And they are trying to get alerts via, let's say, they're using TikTok. And now the AI moderation is saying, nope, community guidelines broken. This is misinformation. And now your house is gone because of some stupid machine who's saying that your content isn't verifiable. This is where it becomes dangerous because there are people who are using this app as their news source. And I just want to say, and me included, okay, we can't take every creator to heart in the words that they are sharing when it comes to the news without the verified sources. And this is the reason why I say I'm going to put links in the description. That way you can read it for yourself.
Okay, let's go through the parts of their response that really stood out to me. Firstly, I asked them why my account was permanently banned earlier last year, and they said that I temporarily connected to a Wi-Fi network which was previously used by an account with a lot of violations. Now, that for me was more shocking than if my content was against their guidelines. Because remember, I got banned without the ability to appeal. So imagine if I didn't have the reach that I have to get in contact with someone at TikTok and sort this out. I may have never got my account back for something as simple as connecting to a Wi-Fi network at the Airbnb that you're staying at. Just imagine TikTok being your full-time job and your account gets removed overnight for something as simple as connecting to Wi-Fi, things you can't even protect against. What happened?
I went on the app like normal, and a little like information bar popped up and basically just said that I need to edit my profile because I'm posing as another person or an organization in a confusing way. But anyway, I obviously...
And then I just want to say this. Dylan Page, who's covering the news, is probably not stationed like the way I am at home. Every time I go on TikTok, it's always going to be here in this state. There are people who are creating content and they're breaking the news and they're everywhere. It's not always going to be with the Wi-Fi at the same place. People are going to be staying at hotels. They're going to be logging into different Wi-Fis. And for an AI moderator, whatever the fuck this machine is, to suspect that you are not you and that you're breaking community guidelines, these community guidelines are just insane. It almost as if it makes it impossible for someone to have an account and to be able to freely share the news or whatever it is that they're doing on their account without getting banned in some form or another. And that's what's really scary.
I couldn't edit my profile. I tried to appeal it, and then one day just went on the app and they say your account has been permanently banned. It just would not let me access my account, just disappeared.
Just because you looked and sounded like me.
I assume so, but they never really gave an explanation for that. I am wiped out in a day, just permanently deleted. What? And then there's nothing you can do. You can't. I tried appealing. They're like, appeal denied. What could you do?
So that was pretty shocking. Secondly, I asked why 5 of my reports on the Venezuela situation were removed, and they said that one of my posts, this one is crazy, one of my posts was shared by another user, and that user was wrongfully moderated by TikTok. As a result, the original video, which was my video, got penalized with the same result. So at this point, I'm thinking, now I've got to worry about the millions of people who share my videos daily, and that could end up causing my videos to get taken down. I mean, it's starting to feel...
Exactly. People who are reposting. And the idea is to get that video to a larger audience. I can't tell you how many videos I have seen as a result of somebody else reposting that video. So the repost feature is a very good feature, but it's fucked up if I'm reposting somebody's video and then I get banned for it, and now that person is going to get in trouble for it. And these are videos that is information. So you're going to start banning people's accounts for sharing information that people need to hear? It does not make any sense.
like you can breathe wrong on this platform and your content can get removed.
Yeah, so my TikTok got banned recently. I was doing it for about 6-7 years full time. Long story short, they banned me over a video of myself flying over New York City with my legs out the helicopter.
Did they give you a reason when that video got taken down?
Dangerous activities. You've got your seatbelt on, you've got a harness on. You know, there's many others videos like it, and I tried to explain that to them, but they told me no matter how many times I email them, the outcome will not change.
Now, in their defense, they also disclosed to me that a staggering 100 million videos get uploaded to TikTok daily. And I'll be honest, that is some serious scale that they have to moderate. And they said in just 3 months last year, 186 million videos were removed. That's an average of 2 million videos per day. But here's where things get scary, because yesterday I also spoke with an anonymous source and they asked not to be named for legal reasons, and they told me this.
TikTok has their moderation teams. They've sacked them all. I know some of them personally. So what happened is that they've used our moderation team to train their AI tools. They've sacked them to save money. And now moderation mistakes are happening left, right and centre. The result is that this platform is now being moderated incorrectly. People hate AI. And this is a good example of AI replacing humans.
Now, it's not just my source telling me this. Sky News, they spoke to 3 whistleblowers from the UK's moderation team, and they said that more than 400 online safety workers have agreed to leave the company, with allegedly only 5 individuals left. Obviously, that places a huge burden on the AI moderation, and TikTok have told me that 85% of content removed off of the platform is done so by automation. The Sky News is saying that 400.
Yeah, I've been working 4.5 years. Huh?
4.5 years.
I'm going to put that link in the description. Of course, I'm going to credit Dylan Page for putting this video together and risking his own reputation on TikTok. I don't follow him on TikTok, so I have not gotten a chance to see if he still has an account there. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to close out with this. While TikTok is still a usable app and people can still get news worldwide, it sucks to know they are allowing this AI moderation that's going to get it wrong. I don't know how they have anything set up. I don't know how it all works where the AI machine is like, oh, that's misinformation, especially if the information is real. And people are going to get hurt as a result of these moderation machines getting it fucking wrong. That's the bottom line. And there are people on this app who I highly respect, and I seek out their information because I trust what it is that they are saying. And if they are not there, sure, I can find them on YouTube, and there's the YouTube Shorts feature that people still can use, but that's also a whole other story that I've heard going on with YouTube and the shorts and the long form, etc. I will just say this. If you are going to continue using TikTok, please use it with caution. Do not share your information. Do not allow the app to access whatever it is that it wants to access. If you don't want to share the people that you have on your phone, because I know that Snapchat has a similar feature, which I've turned off. I don't care to see who on my phone contacts is using Snapchat. It's the same way with TikTok. If people want to find me, they know they can find me on TikTok, or they can find me on YouTube, where I am posting the majority of my content along with Substack. And I do have to record an after show for my Patreon. I have not gotten a chance to do that. You know, everything that's been going on has been completely draining, and we all have to stay informed, but don't feed into the conspiracy theories. That's all I want to say. And don't let the addiction of being on a social app get the best of you. Take a break, breathe, meditate. You can go into my coaching channel. I put some meditations on there. Take a moment to just touch the grass, as they say. And with all that being said, this is Maribel Blue signing off. Let me know your thoughts. Are you still using TikTok, or do you think it's becoming the future cesspool like X? Who knows? And as always, remember, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and most importantly, take care of you. Bye, everybody.